Good evening. A British teenager who says she has no regrets about running away to Syria to join the Islamic State group has been told she could face prosecution if she tries to come home. Shamima Begum, who's now 19, says she's pregnant and wants to return to the UK for the sake of her baby. She was one of 3 schoolgirls who disappeared from East London just over 3 years ago when she was 15. Our Home Affairs correspondent Daniel Sanford reports.
This is the route across the deserts taken by Shamima Begum as she fled 2 weeks ago from one of the last specks of territory held by the Islamic State group. Today, hundreds more IS women were making the same journey, heading for this camp in northern Syria. The same camp where yesterday, Shamima Begum, who's one of the Bethnal Green girls, reappeared after almost 4 years. She had travelled from London to join IS with 2 school friends. One of those friends is now dead. She herself was married at 15 and has lost 2 children to malnutrition and disease. But she says going to join IS was the right decision.
I don't regret it. But when I came and I saw that there was like underground oppression and all this happening, it came as a shock to me, like this is actually happening.
Did you ever see executions?
No, no, but I saw a beheaded head in the bin.
What was that like when you first saw that? These are the heads of captives?
Yeah, didn't faze me at all.
She told The Times her school friend Amira Abbasi was also still alive 2 weeks ago. Amira Abbasi's father, who thought until today that she might be dead, now wants the British government to try to bring the girls home. He says they were young teenagers who shouldn't be punished for their mistakes, and he would go and get her himself if he could.
Never stay 1 minute here if I can't go fly there to see her.
And when you see her, what would you say to her?
I don't know.
But the security minister said the government can't help the surviving Bethnal Green girls where they are.
Well, we just don't provide consular services in Syria. You know, it's dangerous. I don't want to send British civil servants and officials out into a, still active civil war in effectively parts of a failed state.
So what are the options for Shamima Begum? The UK won't go and get her out of northern Syria, but would give her assistance if she made it to an embassy or consulate in Turkey, for example. It's unlikely she'd have her nationality stripped away, although the Home Secretary has the power to do so. If she returns to the UK, she could face prosecution for membership of a terrorist organisation or encouraging terrorism. Irrespective of a prosecution decision, she would be offered the chance to enter a de-radicalisation programme. Shiraz Maher, who's been studying IS since 2014, says even teenage girls like Shamima Begum were helping the murderous caliphate.
Just by virtue of being there, they were building a kind of critical mass on the ground. They were having these children who were believed to be and called the so-called cubs of the caliphate, that they would go on to be future fighters.
But in the East London Bengali community that Shamima Begum comes from, some say she must still be treated fairly and as the British citizen that she is.
From my point of view, she was a young child when she was groomed by ISIS and seduced by some twisted form of empowerment for Muslims. But it's not as simple as, a brainwashed jihadi bride. So that needs to be taken into consideration.
And as the fighters of IS continue to lose ground, the arguments about what to do with its supporters are going to intensify over the next few months. Daniel Sanford, BBC News.